You told me you had just finished working out, you barely know this person, and they picked you up, so you got in a vehicle with them. Did I mishear?
That's what he said. That's what you said. That's correct. He also said he had a bag with him.
Yeah,
Oh.
I recall.
So these are your drugs.
Portion of them this time.
Judgment sprung, in and out, the verdict swung. Oouchie Court Watch, we've just begun. Oouchie Court Watch, we're on the scene. Truth's unraveling, what does it mean?
Excuse me,
Hey,
what do you think, wait, who do you think you are?
sorry.
No, and don't even act like you're over control with emotion. They're taking you back. Hi. Whose client is that?
Fine.
All right,
One of three, so I got to two now. A little more manageable.
All right, if you let them put him in a holding cell. He's overcome with emotion and he doesn't even know.
I'm a very emotional German.
All right, court is calling 2025 CR 0000220, State versus Jerry Kyler McGee. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? For the defense?
Ron Ross.
All right, are you Mr. McGee?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea of guilty to count 1. Count 2 was waived without objection. Just one moment, let me let them finish over here. Okay. All right, count 2 was waived without objection. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court found you guilty. According to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 8 years in the prison. The state is opposed to your application for community supervision. They're taking in consideration 2024 CR 007651, 2024 AL 001409, and the following night magistrate numbers: 751980, 751981, 751982, 751983, and 751984. In this case, no PSI was prepared. Defense counsel waived PSI. The court reset it to give parties a chance to have witnesses present if they wanted to have witnesses present. There was no objection to the court requesting the defendant's criminal history. Is that correct, counsel?
That is correct. You actually gave us the option of a PSA or to go forward, and we're gonna opt to go ahead and go forward.
All right. So state, you are opposed. Why are you opposed?
Resulted in what could reasonably describe as a crime wave. Not the worst crime wave that Bear County has ever experienced. Crime wave.
Just one moment. Excuse me, counsels. If y'all could step back, I'm trying to hear it. Thank you. All right, counsel, you may continue.
These offenses stretch up to October 31st of 2024. So from the state's perspective, it seems that the only reason that Mr. McGee committed additional offenses is because he has been confined. The state doesn't see considerable evidence to indicate that probation is appropriate in this instance, because the state does not perceive much evidence that absent confinement, Mr. McGee will keep on the straight and narrow, which is why the state believes that supervision is not appropriate in this.
All right. So with regards to the cases that are being taken in consideration, were those offenses alleged to have been committed on different dates?
Some arose out of the same criminal episode. Some are actually not being taken into consideration. That's my mistake by the UUMP. Is being dismissed for missing witness. Property is being dismissed for missing witness. The PG 2 1 to 4 is being dismissed for insufficient evidence, because as far as I can tell, the PG 2 substance was not actually tested by the Bear County criminal investigation.
All right. So if you will tell me the cause numbers that are not being taken in consideration, but are being dismissed for other reasons so that I can notate?
Start with 9X751-980.
Okay, yes.
9X751-983.
Hmm.
Clause number 2024 CR 007651.
Mhm.
And petition 2024 AL 001409 will be rejected. That is an at-large case. I spoke with the complainant in that case, and he is going to be making positive.
All right, so the night mag number that ends in 80, what is the reason for that dismissal?
Insufficient evidence.
And the night mag number ending in 983?
Missing witness.
And the cause number, the 2024 cause number?
Missing.
And then the AL number is being rejected. So that, any objection to the court then changing the paperwork?
No objection.
All right, so what the court will do is the court will remove from the plea bargain agreement that 2024 CR 007651 was being taken in consideration. The court will remove 2024 AL 001409, night mag number 751980, and night mag number 751983. So then the items that will be, the offenses that will be taken in consideration are night mag 751981, 751982, and 751984. So with regards to the offense that's being taken consideration ending in 81, what is the offense date on that one?
81 was, I've got February the 18th, 2024,
All right, and 82
same date,
and 84?
same date.
All right. And then this, the instant case is October
31st.
31st, 2024.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state, is there any other criminal history for Mr. McGee?
There is one prior offense. You'll give me a moment.
Yes.
Check the CIC.
All right, and what's the,
500 out of Green County. For adjudication, which he successfully.
all right, and what is the offense date on that? Or the conviction date?
Disposition date is March 31st of 2020.
All right,
And that is all of the prior criminal history of which I'm here.
all right, and state, you may continue your argument. All right, defense?
Judge, may I ask my client some questions?
Yes. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jerry Kyler McGee,
How old are you, Jerry?
33.
What kind of education do you have?
I have a bachelor's degree in biology and a double minor in mathematics and chemistry.
Okay. Have you, what is your work history?
I've worked for myself and then as well as a few different laboratories and medical sales companies here in town. And that's kind of what I specialize in.
Here in town, okay?
Yes, sir.
Have you lived here all your life?
No, sir. I came to San Antonio in 2015 to attend a master's degree program and as well as work.
Did you ever leave San Antonio?
I left San Antonio for 1 year. I went to Waco, Texas for 1 year.
When did you return?
When I returned is when, right about December of 2023.
About a year ago?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you married?
Yes, sir.
When you went to Waco, did your wife go with you?
She did.
Do you have any children?
I have a daughter. She's about to be 2 years old.
Okay, and when you returned to San Antonio, did you return with your wife and your child?
I did not.
Why not?
We were getting a divorce.
And where does she live now?
She lives in West Texas.
Do you see your child
I do.
very often?
As often as I can.
Okay, when you returned to San Antonio, were you able to get a job?
No, I was having a tough time finding a job.
Did you have a place to stay when you moved here?
I did.
Okay, and so how did you get into, you've had several incidences here. Most of them are misdemeanors or they're state jail felonies, small things, but how did you get into doing three different instances? How did you get into that?
I've just fell into the wrong crowd, and I take full responsibility for my actions. I shouldn't have been hanging around the people that I was with, and committing the same crimes that I've been charged with. I was down on my luck. I couldn't find a job, and I was doing anything possible to do what I needed to do to make money. That was wrong of me, and but I know that I deserve probation, and I really know that I can take classes and do community service and be responsible about it. And I know it's something I can complete because I have done it before, and I know I can do it again. I hope the court grant leniency on it for that.
And also a job, you need a job. Are you gonna be able to get a job?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes.
One way or the other, you're gonna have to work. If you can't get a job in your field, you're gonna have to get a job.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
willing to do that?
Yes, sir, I am.
You understand if you're given probation, you mess up, you come back, you're gonna go to prison?
I do, and that will not happen.
Have you ever had probation except the one case 10 years ago? You ever had
I've
probation?
never been in trouble in my life. Besides it.
You ever been to prison?
I've never been to prison. No, sir.
Ever been to jail more than a few days on these cases?
I never, no, sir. This is the longest time I've ever been in jail, a little over 3 months.
Okay, and what is the situation on your divorce with your wife? Has anybody filed?
Yes, filed. So we're currently, when I get out of here, it'll be finalized.
You're asking for probation.
I am
you
asking for
understand?
probation, yes.
Probation's not easy.
I know it's not easy, but I am a strict man. I've decided this is not for me. And I understand that I can't complete it. I come from a great family, I've got a great backing behind me, a great family behind me, and I know it's something that I can complete with in a timely manner and complete it successfully very easily.
Judge, I would ask you to give him probation, and I'd like to point out that the cases that we're going
Oh,
forward
just one second. Do you have any questions? All right, I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
You said you deserve probation.
So
What does that mean? That you deserve probation?
I feel like it's something that I deserve. I have not. My past history has shown that I have not, committed crimes. My whole life.
I just find that sort of like a weird
No, I would
statement.
appreciate. It's probably a better
Yeah.
word for it. Yes, ma'am.
Because,
It's
people,
something I don't deserve. Yeah, I
because
get what
people
you're saying.
deserve, in Bear County, people deserve people not to commit crimes,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're gonna go off the record.
Mm.
All right, we're gonna go on the record. We're back on the record in 2025 CR 0002220 State versus Jerry McGee. Can I have parties re-announce for the record for the state?
And Harris Edwards.
And Ron Ross for defense.
Right. And state, you stated you would like to supplement the record or supplement the stipulations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No, we have no objection here.
Yes. And
In addition, we have a stipulation for the record.
sure. And do y'all have the original steps? Were those given back to the clerk?
I don't know who they are. I never had them.
And it's on,
Again, Your Honor.
yes.
Apologies for the inconvenience.
No problem. Thank you. All right. And if both parties will give me a moment to review the
Sure.
additional stipulations. All right, the court has reviewed the supplemental. And defense, you wanted to add something?
Yes, Judge, the reports between the narratives and when they list the people involved, there's been some conflict between the different reports. They referred to my client as S1, S2, and I think at one time S3, and they've used the word P1, P2, and P3 and D1 and D3, I believe. We will stipulate that in this case, in fact, my client was the passenger in the car. He was the one that had the drugs. And I think that some of the reports refer to him as S2.
So do you understand your attorney's stipulations and do you stipulate to what your counsel has just stated for the record?
Yes,
Anything else from either side?
State.
I would just ask you, Judge, to give my client probation, and what he did was he's not done anything that was aggressive or use of aggravated. They're third-degree offenses or state jail offenses, the several different ones he had. He's testified he's had a bad year last year, mentally, emotionally. He has no prior, he has an education, he can go out and get a job. I would ask you to give him a chance on probation. And if you really want to hold a hammer on him, we didn't apply for it, but give him deferred. Really hold a hammer on it, but I don't see any reason for prison for him. I think he can get his life squared away.
All right, the court will note that he's charged with possession of drugs and not possession with intent to deliver. The court will note that there may have been some slight confusion with the police report and the way the police report was written. So the person who is in the vehicle with you, who is she to you or who was she to you?
she was just a friend.
No, I mean, you just don't roll around in a stolen car with just a friend.
If you look at it, I was actually running, I was working out, and she picked me up in that car. So I was in the car for maybe 2 blocks.
Oh, so do you want a jury trial? Because if you're in the car for 2 blocks and you just get in a car with a complete stranger, which, how old are you?
33.
All right, you're 33. I've never heard of somebody running and just picking up a complete, letting a complete stranger pick them up unless they had some nefarious things in mind. Here's the thing, these drugs were found in the vehicle, they were not found on your person. Do you want a jury trial? Because you're telling me now you've gone from I deserve probation to basically I didn't do it. I just completed my workout and I'm running, I guess, as a
No,
part of
I had a bag in the vehicle. I knew who she was. I had a bag in the vehicle that she just came out, and like I didn't expect her to be driving. She just came up.
No, here's the thing. We're not dealing with a stolen vehicle. What we're dealing with is you're in a vehicle with a lot of drugs.
Yes.
So what you just told me, and if I heard incorrectly, please correct me. I take no offense to it. You told me you had just finished working out. You barely know this person and they picked you up, so you got in a vehicle with them. Did I mishear?
That's what he said. That's what you said. That's correct. He also said he had a bag with him.
Yeah,
Oh.
I recall.
So these are your drugs.
Portion of them this time.
So why do you have drugs?
Hmm?
Why do you have drugs?
I was pulling down on myself and using the wrong exits to do it. Getting a clear conscience now and having a time to reflect on it. I know it's a dumb decision and it's something I'm never gonna do again.
All right, the court is going to find you guilty. I'm going to give you a choice. I will sentence you to 2 years in the prison today, or either I will place you on 8 years probation. Oh, so here's the thing. We don't need people in the background telling him what to do. This is not The Price is Right. All right, so what would
I'll
you?
take it.
All right, the court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to 8 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 8 years. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. The state is taking in consideration night mag number 751981, 751982, 751984. There's going to be field visits 1 time per month until further notice.
Apologies for the interruption.
Yes. Yes. There's to be no contact with what is that noise? Do you hear that? Am I the only person hear that?
Sounds like music.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. No problem. I thought I was, I was losing my hearing. Thank you. There's to be no contact with Savannah Lee, Devin, Devin, Sanchez Martinez. Is there to be any restitution as it relates to this vehicle?
I'm not aware of anybody.
State.
Your Honor,
Yes.
Mr. McGee is not accused of the UUMD that arises out of the state.
That's true, too.
Possession of controlled substance 1 4.
All right, there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors.
Except maybe his child. He has a child if he gets to see a child.
So,
No unsupervised contact with minors.
so to answer your question, Your Honor, there may be restitution, but as far as we can discern, Mr. McGee is not the one.
All right, so you all are not asking for restitution. That's my question.
Correct.
All right, thank you. So there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. The court will waive 50 of those hours once parenting classes are completed.
Probation will go wrong with something.
And probation, there can be a TAP evaluation out of custody. Follow TAP recommendations. And there's to be 120 sober meetings in 120 days. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else that you need from the court in order to be successful?
What's your question? Like AA or NA
Okay.
every day?
Anything else you need in order to be successful?
No, ma'am, I appreciate you and appreciate the court today.
All right. Defense, is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony, this is not filled out. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. In this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If there's an issue, let your probation officer know. If you feel as though the probation officer is not addressing those issues, you can come back to the court and address them with the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
May I approach her?
Yes.
After a spirited discussion.
Mhm.
They are not changing their recommendations.
Okay. All righty. Let's bring everybody up then. Mr. McDonald, if you'll come down, please. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 5669 State versus Seth McDonald. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Thank you for the state of Texas.
for the defense?
Monica Guerrero for Mr. McDonald, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. McDonald?
Yes, ma'am. We are.
All right, you had entered a plea of no contest on September 10th, 2024. The court found that the evidence was sufficient to find you guilty. The court deferred finding of guilt because you had applied for deferred adjudication. The enhancement was waived without objection. The court ordered a PSI and TAP evaluation. On October 28th, 2024, we were scheduled, but defense counsel was in a jury trial. And I have to put this on the record. On October 31st, it was recalled for December 16th. Because I believe there was some sort of competency evaluation that was filed. And also, the court was awaiting the medical records to see whether or not your finger had been amputated. And then, of course, it was recalled again and again, but defense counsel was in jury trial. And also it was called again because we were awaiting medical records. And for some reason, someone thought that defense counsel should pay for the medical records.
And I did.
And she did. But that will be taken care of.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so the court, the reason he stated that he did not report and he wasn't able to report because he had his finger amputated.
Correct.
So defense brought in records to show, in fact, that his finger had been amputated. If you would like to put anything into the record, defense?
So yes, Your Honor, they sent me a packet of 400 pages, actually 475 pages of medical records. I sent the pertinent part to the court through the court coordinator, which did in fact indicate from this doctor that his finger was amputated on February the 8th of 2024. And he was recommended to be out of work or to go anywhere because of the extreme pain that it caused.
All right, and state you still wish to proceed with your plea bargain agreement of punishment being assessed at a cap of 4 years? All right, so you're changing it because you all were previously opposed, so now you're silent?
Correct.
Any objection to the changing of the plea bargain agreement to reflect that the state is silent?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection to the court writing in the plea bargain agreement that the state is silent?
No objection.
Any objection? Do you have any objections, sir, that the state is now silent?
No, ma'am. Your Honor.
All right, so the court has received the TAP evaluation and the PSI. I previously on the record, both parties said that they had no objections to the TAP evaluation or the PSI. Is that the same state defense?
Correct.
All right. Mr. McDonald,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you for being honest with the court. Sometimes it's rare that people are honest. They still will let their attorney go try to discover something that does not exist. But in this case, it did exist. So I'm going to give you a choice. This is your only choice. There is no other choice. You understand?
Your Honor.
I can find you guilty and sentence you to 2 years in the prison, or I will grant your application for community supervision and I will place you on community supervision for 4 years.
4 years probation.
All right. All right, the court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 4 years. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. Probation, is he going to be with the special unit?
Yes, sir.
All right, you'll be reporting to the special unit. There is, and I know there are already field visits with that, so I'm not going to request field visits. There's to be Chapter 62 registration. You understand that?
Yes,
Do not miss that. Do you understand?
yes, ma'am.
Proof of employment or SSI within 30 days, I'll say 45 days of release because based upon your charges, it's going to be hard for you to find employment. 45 days of release. Of course, there's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, we can go out the record. Good luck to you to be successful in this court. Communication is key. If there's an issue, let your probation officer know. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can come back to the court.
Thank you.
And you really should be thanking your attorney for finding all of this information.
Everybody loves me in jail.
Okay, all right, have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe, excuse me.
Yes, and make sure you include that in your,
I will, thank you.
all right, thank you so much. You're welcome. Nicole Nutter. Hi.
She's in custody, Judge.
All right, it should come down. Oh, I'm so sorry. On the last case, state any objection to removal of the GPS? All right, and probation GPS will be removed. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 0111162, State of Texas versus Nicole Nutter. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Albert Chidas for Ms. Nutter.
And are you Miss Nutter?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea on December 20th of no contest. The court waived
Nope.
the repeater allegation without objection. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 5 in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine, and the state is opposed to your application. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report and the TAP evaluation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
I'd like to call my client.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Nicole Nutter.
All right, defense.
Ms. Nutter, you're applying for probation. What can you tell the judge that will give her confidence that you're gonna succeed at probation?
And when I plan on getting out, I plan on getting a job, staying with my daughter. And just trying to get on with my life and do better. I don't do drugs anymore.
I'm sorry.
I don't do drugs anymore.
Okay.
My legs were run over on December 6th, 2023. And as soon as my legs were run over by the vehicle, it snapped me into reality. And I haven't done methamphetamine since the day my legs were run over.
Now, let me ask you another question. Have you had mental health issues?
They diagnosed me when my daughter was just born, and I denied the drug that they diagnosed me, Depakote, and I told them that I wasn't gonna take it because my daughter was young and I didn't want to be on medicine. So all these years I've been without
Okay,
healthcare.
but what were you diagnosed with?
Bipolar,
Okay, and the Depakote was to treat the bipolar disorders?
yes,
And you were not on your medication?
no.
Okay.
not on my medication.
Now, on this instant offense, were you using methamphetamines when you were arrested?
No,
were you taking your Depakote or something similar?
No, I wasn't taking anything. I know I had a psychotic breakdown, a mental breakdown. Because there's nothing else that can explain it. I wasn't under the influence of anything. Alcohol,
All right, so
nothing.
here's the thing. You're gonna need to speak up so the court reporter can hear, and
Okay.
everyone else, you need to whisper.
So
And so, when you went over, what was this, trailer place that you went to?
it was my friend's house that I was living at.
And were you allowed to be there at the time?
Yes, I lived there with him.
But were you allowed to be there at the time that you went there, when you got arrested?
At the time. Well, I didn't think anything of it. Even though we had had like a little dispute a few days like before that, I didn't think, because he's my friend.
Had he kicked you out?
Well, he gave me my clothes and I went to spend the night in another friend's house in the
Okay.
trailer park.
Okay, and so, did you intend to burglarize his home?
No, not at all. I just.
What was the
intended
reason you went there?
to Talk with him about
Um,
the cats that I let out of the cages and to let him know what was going on, what I had done.
okay, now, if the judge is gonna consider probation, she's gotta consider what the likelihood that you're gonna successfully complete probation. So you've had probation before, right? And you've struggled with probation.
I've struggled in the past.
Has bipolar disorder been an issue?
I believe it's always been an issue. That's why I get myself medicated with methamphetamines. I never got treated until now. And the medicine that I'm on just works really well. I haven't had any of those breakdowns mentally that I was having before all this happened.
So while you've been in county, have you been put on medication?
Yeah, they put me on Risperdal.
Okay, so if the judge decides she's gonna give you probation, do you have a place to go since you're not gonna be living with Tim anymore?
I have my daughter's house. My daughter has an apartment. She's 21. She's here today.
Okay, and so do you have any additional family support?
Her, my children's father.
Okay, all right. Thank you. No further questions, Judge.
Any questions?
Your accident where your legs were run over, you said that was in 2003?
2003, December 6, 2003.
And so when have you stopped?
Oh, no, 2023.
Oh,
23,
Okay, so
yes.
that's when you say the skating
Yes.
stopped doing drugs.
Yeah.
Okay, and so I just had a question, because you said, I mean, you've been living there with Timothy, correct, at the trailer?
Yes.
Okay, and you guys got into a disagreement a couple of days before, and regarding the cat, correct?
Well, we hadn't really talked about the cats that time, so that I wanted to go and talk with him about letting the cats out, because he didn't hear from me. He only heard from the tenants, so he had never heard it from me. So I wanted to go over and talk to him and let him know what was going on.
And then, but that day, I guess, he had given you your clothes previously to go stay somewhere else, is that correct?
At the friend's house.
Okay. And so then the day that you went back to speak to him about the cats, and you believe that you had permission to be there that day?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, even though he didn't really let you into the apartment, right? In the police report, it said that you headbutted him, but you're disputing that today, right?
No, it wasn't a headbutt, it was,
Kind of like checking him, correct?
chest, yeah.
And at one point you fell down and you're going back and forth with the chest,
Yeah.
correct? Okay, and then you enter his habitation, his trailer at that time, correct, and lock the door.
Yeah.
Okay, and to you, that indicates to you that you had permission to be there?
No, my mental state wasn't normal.
Okay.
I mean, in reality, my mental state was really messed up.
Okay. And in the situations that Timothy had said that he didn't know if you were using drugs again, but you're saying that you're not, and it's just a mental health issue.
It was a mental health issue for sure. I mean, my mental health was, I can't even tell you what kind of things were going on in my head at the time that were just not even normal. When I entered Clare County, they put a yellow shirt on me. I thought I was pregnant. I haven't had just
Well, that's okay.
sex
We don't have to go into
since
that.
December sixth,
That's
so.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm done asking you questions. I've kind of clarified that.
All right, any other questions?
No other questions for her. I do have one other witness, or I don't know if the court needs to hear, but her daughter and her ex-husband are here. The daughter would just be testifying about the fact that she can provide a home for her mother.
Okay,
I don't know if you need to hear from her. It's sufficient just to know that.
that's fine for me to know that, but if you would like to call them as a witness, we'll have to bring this back in the afternoon.
No, we don't need to do that, Judge.
You sure?
Yeah, yeah.
You sure?
Well, out of an abundance of caution, I would like to call the daughter just there.
All right, so we'll come back in the afternoon at 1:30 and we'll finish up this hearing, okay? All right,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome. Mr. Charis, are you ready to proceed? Okay. Okay. All right, well, I mean, if you want to confer with them or either.
I was just checking on the second witness.
Okay.
I call my client up.
Sure. Ms. Nutter, if you'll come back up, please. And Jason, on this one, you all are opposed. Okay. And it's burglary of a habitation. And cap of 5. All right. All right, we're back on the record in 2024 CR 011162, State versus Nicole Nutter. If I could have parties reannounced for the record, State. Defense.
Albert Chidas for Ms. Nutter.
And are you Ms. Nutter?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So State, you said that you had another witness present.
Yeah, one other person I was gonna call.
All right, if you call them, please.
Paige Slater.
All right, hello. Hi, and excuse me, you need to stand over there. If you'll raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Paige Slater.
All right, if you'll make sure you keep your voice up so that I can hear, because my allergies are acting up, and also so that the court reporter can hear.
Yes,
All right, defense.
Could you let me know what your relationship is to Ms. Nutter?
she's my mom.
And where do you live? Not address, but town?
San Antonio.
Okay. And are you willing to help your mom get through, assuming the court were to give her probation? Are you willing to assist her in housing?
Yes, she can stay with me. I'm at.
And do you live alone in the apartment? Do you have children in the apartment?
No, just me and a dog.
Okay. Are you aware of your mom's mental health issues?
Yes, yeah, I grew up with her.
And so are you willing to help her to try and stay on her medication so she can maintain a healthy mental state?
Yes, yes, yeah, 100%.
And are you employed?
Yes, I'm self-employed.
Okay, all right. I have no further questions, Judge.
All right, any questions from the state?
No question.
All right, and just one for me.
I'm
Out of
sorry?
curiosity, what do you do?
Social media.
Okay. All right, so what, when you say social media, what are you?
Yeah, like basically influencer, like I make probably like 10 to 20.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, all right, thank you so much.
Thank you. And I have no other witnesses, Judge.
All right,
Just
so,
argument.
all right, I'll hear your argument. Oh, you can come back up.
So Judge, I know Ms. Nutter did have some issues with her probation in the past. She's had probation before. But she's always, had the issue with being bipolar. That's never gonna go away, and that's something where it's been a struggle for her. It's also cost her to do some things that are erratic. She's gotten into drugs. It seems like she's overcome the issue of drugs, but she's still been struggling with her mental health. And she did have a job before she was arrested. She was working with I'll probably butcher his name, but Tim Height, the complainant. And Tim was very generous, very helpful. He's a religious man, and he was helping her in giving her a job, giving her a place to stay, trying to get her, closer to God and away from drugs. He was interviewed by the state, and he himself feels that it's way too much to say it was a burglary of a habitation. He thinks that it probably should have been like a criminal trespass. He just wanted her gone because she was acting so crazy, so erratic, out of control. I think in page 5 of the report to the court, he's interviewed and kind of gives his thoughts on the matter, which is that he wants her to get the help she needs. He thinks she has a drug problem, but she is bipolar and she wasn't on her medication. So either or, she either has to be getting her medication for bipolar, and in addition, if there's a drug issue, getting drug treatment. And my client's open to doing what she needs to do. She's just asking the court to have the opportunity to do that. She does have a place to go back to. Her daughter will let her stay with her. And I think that it's probably a better solution than putting her in TDC and at taxpayers' expense, when she can kind of try and get her affairs in order and still abide by the court's requirements. And if she doesn't, the court always has the opportunity to simply revoke her if she doesn't do what she's supposed to be doing. So-
State.
So for that reason, I would just say, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
for that reason, I would just say if you could give her probation. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. State.
Jeff, just in the previous history of repeat offending states in position that in lieu of prison, we have a long probation, we approach a case.
All right. So I will tell you, this is a very difficult case for me on deciding what to do because I don't have a crystal ball. So I'm weighing the fact that you never successfully completed probation. I mean, the PSI I'm reviewing, you're given probation and each time you were revoked. You were revoked in 2008. And that was interference with child custody. And I'm assuming that's involving the 13-year-old.
That's involving this young lady. That,
Oh, that's involving her, okay. And then there was the bail jumping in 2013. And I know, depending on what county you're in, when you don't show up, they'll charge you with bail jumping. And then the probation on that was revoked. And then everything else, it appears that you have taken time. So this is a difficult case. And then the complainant, I've read the PSI report, the complainant does not want you to go to prison. Complainant feels that you need help, that you have mental health issues and drug issues. Now, according to the TAP evaluation, they think that you're minimizing. So this is what I can tell you I will do. And at first I was strongly thinking about giving you 3 years in the prison and not granting your application. But if I grant your application for probation, you're going to remain in custody because they want to evaluate you for DDRF. And how long is DDRF?
Yeah, it's 120 to 108 days. Currently, there's a 10 to 12 week wait for females.
And I have no choice but DDRF for you because it appears that you have the mental health issues along with drug issues. I could refer you to felony drug court, but if felony drug court doesn't accept you, then it would be DDRF. So you can either I can sentence you to 3 years in the prison. You'll receive credit for whatever time you've been in. Or I grant your application. People will tell you probation in here is not easy. It's designed for the probationer that's before me. But if I grant you probation, then you're going to remain in custody. She's told you what the wait time is. That's the wait time. I have no control over that. So those are your two choices. If you would like to discuss it with your attorney, you can. All right. You're welcome. Do y'all want to sit in the box and discuss? And then I'll bring you all back up. All right,
Well, Judge, actually, she's pretty clear on what she wants to do.
yes.
That's fine with the waiting in jail. I'm doing 180 days in jail.
All right, no, she's saying it's going to be 180 days. And then what else, Ms. Abrams?
So the program itself is 120 to 180 days. And the wait time is 10 to 12 weeks. That's after medical. Medical can take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks.
So you're looking at the time in DDRF plus the wait time. You want to think about it a little bit? Sure. Okay, all right, just let me know when you're ready. You're welcome. If I had the ability to put people in programs sooner, I would. All right, if you have to come back up. What page was Barrera on? Thank you. Yes, we're back on the record and 2024 CR 011162. All right, have you all had a chance to discuss your options?
We did, Judge.
And what are you requesting, Ms. Nutter?
3 years.
Prison?
Yes.
All right, the court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. I'll request the therapeutic community for her. But you'll have to request it also. Do you understand?
Yeah.
When you go there, you'll have to let them know that you would like to be in the therapeutic community. The therapeutic community doesn't increase the time that you're in the prison. It's just designed to help you, for example, for you with your mental health issues and any drug issues, okay? And there is a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. And there's to be no contact with Timothy Height, Haight, and Country, Kountry, Campground RV Park. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your
All right, so we can go off the record. Here's the thing. At some point, you're going to be looking at a habitual offender status. And what that means is for certain felonies, if you're charged with it, your minimum is 25 years in the prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're going to have to do better. You're going to have to stay on your medications. When you're released from prison, if you can't find a place that can help you, you can always come back to the court. If I'm still here, I'll see if I can help you find a place. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, that's it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Have a seat, ma'am.
Watch, we're on the scene. Truths unravel, and what does it mean? In the halls where stories clash, Oouchie Court watch quick as a flash.